Welcome to tonight's matchup against the Chanhassen Hawks JV and the Chanhassen Storm Junior Varsity. As the warm-ups are complete, starting lineups are getting some final coaching as they approach. In goal today for the Chanhassen Hawks, we've got Max Minigan. Starting at forward, we got Marco Tobin. We've got Luke Sorensen. We've got Brecken Brink. On defense, we've got Isaac Anderson and Lucas Greer. For Chanhassen, we got Brady Kennedy stepping in for the face-off. Charles Rice. We've got Holden Palmquist. Face-off won by the Chanhassen Storm as they move into the zone, try to move around. Tobin picks up the puck in the corner. Puck battle along the boards. Squeaks out. This is Kennedy as he tries to move around. Tobin dumps it back out to the point. Here's Colt Stupinski. Shot towards the net, deflected in front. Brink turns, fires it out of the zone. The Storm managed to dump it back in. Here's Isaac Anderson in pursuit for the Hawks. As he comes around the final play, here's Palmquist. Tries to dump it back out. Beckett Edie can't keep it in the zone. Chan brings it out, neutral zone, dumps it back in. Minigan behind the net. Greer over to Tobin. Tobin dumps it out. Here's Cooper Swanson as he steps in, dumps it into the corner. Johnson back to pick up the puck behind the net. Dumps it along. Chan clears the zone. Good play here as Carlson races up. Takes a check from Sumstead. The Hawks manage to dump it back into the zone. Chanhassen works their way along the boards. Puck goes through Young. Picked up by Sumstead. Young back in return. Chips it wide. Here's Bardeacon, dumps it out of the zone. Storm tries to dump it deep into the zone. Young in return. Up to Will Sumstead. Will Sumstead with a pass over to Thormasgaard. Thormasgaard chips it high off the glass. Picked up by Chan as they work through the neutral zone. Here's Edie as he tries to work his way through. Chan maintains control. Shot. Minigan there for the save. Swanson steps around. Dumps it out. Can't quite clear the zone. Shot from the point. Deflected by Hallman in front. Chanhassen takes it into the corner. Puck battle along the boards. There's going to be a stoppage in play. Looks like there's an interference call. The first power play will go to Chanhassen on the 2-minute interference call for Cooper Swanson. With 12:51 to go.
Cooper Swanson, 2 minutes interference.
This will be the first power play opportunity for Chanhassen. Face-off win by Chanhassen. They work it back to the point. Here's Palmquist. Works the puck over to Edie. Edie moves the puck up to Kennedy. Kennedy with a shot. Minigan with a save. Puck was loose, but a quick stoppage in play. With 12:39 to go and 1:48 remaining in the Chaska penalty. Kennedy will step into the face-off with Brink. Kennedy with the face-off win. Back to the point, there's Edie. Brink with a nice defensive play. Can't quite clear the zone. The Storm with an odd bounce, dumps it out front. Puck goes back into the corner. Willis providing good defensive support. Chan tries to get it out. Working out to the point. Here's Edie with a shot. Deflected in front by Hallman. Nice clear there by Brody Erickson. The Storm turn. They're looking to try to enter the zone with some speed here. Here's Rice as he turns. Moves towards the slot. Puts a shot on net. Minigan there for the save. Isaac Anderson there. Can't quite clear the zone. Puck's kept in here by Palmquist. Palmquist tries to work it across the front. Over to Edie, can't get it out. Palmquist keeps it in. Palmquist cuts to the side. Good play by Isaac Anderson to make the steal. Chaska's able to chip the puck zone. They're going to get a line change. Rice all the way up to Kennedy. Kennedy works into the zone with Becker. Becker tries to get the shot, deflected out. Gieske wisely dumps it all the way down. Chanhassen picks it up behind their net. Good puck movement across. Here comes Conrad. Conrad steps in. Unfortunately, just offside by Becker with 11:11 to go in the first period. 20 seconds remaining in the Chaska penalty. The score 0-0. Gieske steps into the face-off with Connors. Connors wins the face-off. Chan trying to use the last 14 seconds to set up a good shot. Good block by Bauer Anderson. Knocks the puck out of the zone. Conrad turns. Moves it back over. Johnson up to Conrad. Good defensive play there by Sumstead. Owen Sumstead. Young behind the net. Avoids the check. Good play along the boards. Good pass to get it out of the zone. Schwartz dumps it deep behind the net. Hagel there to go ahead and keep the puck in play. Young with a shot on net. Nice save by Hagel. As a buck dump deep. Here's Wacker. Brings it back out. Tries to clear the zone. Young keeps it in. Dumps it back deep into the zone. Here's Johnson. Picks up the puck behind the net. Larson. Larson exits the zone. Good pickup play there by Becker. That springs loose Owen Sumstead with a shot toward the net. Hagel there for the save. Good play by Chaska to pick up the puck in the neutral zone. Sumstead back, checking, gets a nice play there. Good defensive pressure by Sumstead to keep him out of the zone. Storm turn to bring the puck in. Here's Eakin. Tobin with a nice play, chips it free. Puck back to the point. Here's Lindell, shoots it back into the corner. Sorensen picks up the puck behind the net, over to Wacker. Wacker can't quite clear it. Good puck battle along the boards. Chanhassen comes loose with it. Good play there. Reed tried to get the shot in front, but a good defensive effort there by Tobin. He steals the puck. Good play out to Brink. Brink over to Tobin. Tobin dumps it back to Brink. He dumps it out front. Nice tip there by Sorensen, but a good save by Hagel to keep the puck out of the net. With 9:05 to go, good offensive pressure there by the Hawks after a successful penalty kill. Score remains 0-0 with 9:05 remaining in the first period. Sorensen steps into the face-off circle with Carlson. Chan manages to clear the zone. Picked up here by Musoff. Musoff tries to drive it in. Fires the puck towards the net, up and over Max Minigan's head. Puck dropped behind the net. Hallman in pursuit. Chan tries to control back. Nice pass there in front. Good deflection there by Chaska defense. Good play there for Minigan. Puck's loose. Minigan jumps on the empty puck, on the loose puck for a stoppage in play. Good play there by the Storm to dump it towards the net. Deflected right in front. Minigan was able to go ahead and jump right on the loose puck. 8:39 remaining in the first period. Cooper Swanson will step into the face-off circle with Kennedy. Swanson with the face-off win. Good play here. As it goes back to Lucas Greer, picks it up in the corner. Storm retain control as they work back deep behind the zone, or behind the net. Try to work the puck out toward the point, dump back deep. Good defensive play by Isaac Anderson to steal the outlet pass. Can't quite clear the zone. Anderson picks it up. Good play over to Will Sumstead. Can't quite clear. Greer there to go ahead and stop the puck from getting to the net. High off the glass, Greer managed to clear. Good play here by Edie. Turn the reverse course as he brings it back into the net. And Palmquist works it towards the center. Good defensive pressure there by the Hawks. Good save by Ninsky. The Hawks managed to clear the zone. Good forecheck pressure here by Will Sumstead. The Storm looked to place it all the way across. Pass all the way to Rice. Rice tips it in, won't be icing. Owen Sumstead behind him, return to pick up the puck. Dumps it over. Can't quite get it past Conrad. Puck moves its way out to the point. Here's Spinewski with a shot. Minigan there for the save. Good play by Owen Sumstead to wrap it around the boards. Isaac Anderson dumps it up. Will Sumstead dumps it out of the zone. Hawks will look to get a line change. Pretty consistent pressure here by the Storm early on. Good play by Minigan and the defenders for Chaska. Puck's brought in with some good speed here by Noah Reed. Looks like there's going to be a penalty here. Looks like it'll be a 2-minute penalty for tripping on Chaska's Bauer Anderson. With 6:54 remaining in the first period. This will give the Chanhassen Storm their second power play opportunity. Gieske steps into the face-off. Face-off controlled by the Storm as they look to work the point from the puck. Here's Johnson. He steps into the slot with a shot. Minigan there for the save. Young into the corner. Young's managed to clear the zone. It's tipped up into the Chaska bench for a stoppage in play. As it was tipped by the Chanhassen player into the Chaska bench, that'll move the puck all the way down to the far zone. With 6:41 remaining in the first period and 1:48 remaining on the penalty by Anderson. Tobin will step into the face-off with Connors. Connors with the face-off win. Chan controls the puck. As they look to enter the zone, they're offsides. They're going to have to stop and retreat. The Storm dump it deep. Young picks up the puck behind the corner. Good defensive pressure there. Keep the puck battle alive. Storm pick up the puck in the slot. The slot right there. Direct point blank shot. Can't get it off. Good play by the defenders here for Chaska to collapse down. Young with a nice deflection into the corner. Steps in the puck battle along the boards. Young's managed to kill some time. Good play. Chan moves it back out to the point. Johnson with a shot. Minigan there with the save. Puck's delivered back behind the net. Chaska doing a great job. Young there. Tries to reverse course. Good stick battle. He has to watch out for a hooking call. Back out to Johnson. Johnson with the play. Moves it along the boards over to Conrad. Conrad fires. Tipped up over the net. Storm managed to maintain control. 41 seconds remain in the Storm power play. Nice shot from the point. Minigan with the save. Deflected in the corner. Young again in battle. As he wraps it high off the glass into the net for a stoppage in play. There's a needed switch as the Hawks were getting tired on that defensive effort. 29 seconds remain in the penalty with 5:22 remaining in the first period. Thorman's-Gard will step into the face-off circle against Kennedy. Thorman's-Gard with the face-off win. Right back to Hallman. Hallman tries to fire it out. Can't quite clear the puck. Kennedy picks up the puck along the far side. Brings it back out to the point here to Palmquist. Palmquist works the puck over to Edie. Edie with a shot towards the net. Good defensive effort there by Jack Schwartz to tick the puck far up high into the net for a stoppage in play. 15 seconds remain in the first period. Or first penalty for the Hawks. 5:08 remains in the first period. Face-off win by Kennedy as he dumps it back. Brings it back out to the point with a shot from the point. Minigan with another great save. Pushes it into the corner. Here's Edie with a shot. Another save by Minigan. Kennedy keeps the puck in the zone. Great defensive effort there by the Hawks. They managed to kill the second penalty. That will result in an icing play with 4:46 remaining in the first period. Score tied 0-0. Shots so far on net. Storm 12, the Hawks 3. Here's Eakin, steps into the face-off circle with Cooper Swanson. Eakin with the win, back to the point. Shot from the point, Minigan there with the save. Wacker picks up the puck, tries to dump it free, can't quite get it out. Storm maintain control in their offensive zone. As they try to work the puck around, here's Roberts behind the net, picked up there by Swanson as he tries to dump it free. Good play there. As Highland dumps it out, forcing the play. Here's Edie, brings it back in with some speed. Good defensive pressure to force him wide, brings it right out front. Shot there in front by number 6, Cameron Eakin, with a nice pass from Edie, with 4:15 in the first period. So at 4:15 in the first period, Chanhassen is the first on the board. On the goal by Cameron Eakin with an assist from Beckett Edie. Face off by Sorensen. Controlled by the Storm as they bring it back in.
Cameron Eakin. Assist to Tyler Roberts.
Puck dumps deep. Brink manages to clear the puck out with Tobin. Tobin looks back to Brink, a nice pass. Brink springs loose, but good defensive pressure there by the Storm. Storm managed to maintain control behind the net as they bring it out. Here's Reeb as he brings it across, looking to enter the zone with some speed. He's got McCone racing towards the net. Brink there picks it up. Bouncing puck, can't quite get it out of the zone. Shot from the point, and it scores on a tipped pass. With 3:31 to go, Chanhassen takes a 2-0 lead on a goal from Ty Johnson. Swanson steps into the face-off circle with Nicholas Carlson. Swanson with the face-off win, dumps it back. As they try to dump it deep, there's Young. He turns, fires it behind the net.
Number 4, Ty Johnson, unassisted. Johnson, unassisted.
Sumstead reverses course, can't quite get the puck loose. Tips over to Thormasgaard. Thormasgaard tries to clear the zone. Good play over to Will Sumstead. Will Sumstead cuts across the middle. With a little physicality, brings it in. Swanson can't quite get it deep. The play will be offsides. Sumstead wasn't able to clear the zone quick enough. 3:03 remaining in the first period. Chanhassen with a 2-0 lead. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle with Carlson. The Hawks manage to maintain control. They dump it deep. Hagel there for the push aside. Johnson forces around the boards, tries to clear it, can't quite do so. Swanson dumps it deep. Storm turn, they fire, they look to clear the zone. They do so as Carlson races across the middle. Young loses his stick, good offensive pressure there by the Storm. Young manages to pick up the puck behind the net, over to Thormasgaard. Thormasgaard turns. Young dumps it around, can't quite clear the zone. The wing's not there for the outlet pass. Kept in the zone by Spanuski. This is picked up by Kennedy as he turns. Moving towards the net, looking for somebody in the slot. Can't quite connect. Johnson turns, fires it back into the corner. Puck battle along the far end boards. Picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy turns. Puts a move on Sumstead. Dumps it back out to Quinn Johnson. Quinn Johnson with a shot from the point, deflected by Thormasgaard. Kennedy dumps it out towards the front. Storm maintain control. Back out to Quinn Johnson. Quinn Johnson with a shot. Deflected wide by Minigan and picked up there off the far end boards and chipped in by Charles Rice. With 1:42 to go in the first period. Bit of an unfortunate bounce for the Hawks. As it bounced straight back out, Rice was able to go ahead and dump it right back into the side. The assist will go to number 28, Quinn Johnson. The Storm managed to take control right off the face-off. Shot on net. Minigan makes the save with 1:35 remaining in the first period.
Scoring for Chanhassen, number 10, Charles Rice. The assist from James Connors and Holden Palmquist. Rice from Connors and Palmquist.
Face-off circle. Gieske there. Brody Erickson chips it towards the net. Or it is chipped towards the net. Puck's turned in the corner. Here's Kennedy as he turns, trying to make it toward the... Trying to play. Looks for the outlet pass from the shot. Shot through the middle. Gieske there with the deflection into the corner. Here's Erickson, picks it up in the defensive zone. Looks to clear it in, dumps it deep. Got Bauer Anderson on the far end. Gieske there, picks up the puck along the boards. Chan wraps around Kennedy there to pick up the puck behind the other side. Here's Quinn Johnson as he looks to exit the zone. Managed to do so. Rice dumps it deep. Willis in pursuit. Puck battle ensues along the far board. Storm come away with the puck as they dump it out front. Can't quite get the shot off. 35 seconds remaining in the first period. Hallman wraps it around. Puck's reverse course. Erickson chips it out to the middle. There's Bauer Anderson. Picks it up with some speed. Looks to dump it deep. Puck's in pursuit. Here's Edie. Picks up the puck behind the net. Jack Schwartz with a nice physical play. Putting good some forecheck pressure there. Here's Wacker. Keeps the puck in the zone. As Chan tries to dump it loose. Anderson looks to dump it back in. Picked up there by Edie. Turn, fired, shot. As time expires, the Hawks were looking to get a good shot right in the slot by Jack Schwartz. Couldn't quite connect. Story of the first period is all Chanhassen Storm on offensive pressure. As we look at the shots on net, you'll look at 17 shots on net by the Storm to Chaska's 3. Hagel was not necessarily tested in his 3 saves for the Storm. Max Minigan turned away 14 of the 17 shots. 2 penalties occurred by Chaska Hawks. One at 12:30 in the first period by number 24, Cooper Swanson. 2 minutes for interference. And then at 6:54 in the period, Bauer Anderson took a 2-minute penalty for tripping. Chaska was able to hold off both and have successful penalty kills in both of those efforts, leaving the Storm 0 for 2 on the power play opportunity. First period goals were at 4:15 in the period, remaining in the period. Number 6, Aikinen picked up the first Storm goal, followed by Ty Johnson's goal at 3:31 on an even strength goal. And then Charles Rice added the third goal on an even strength goal at 1:42 remaining on a nice assist from Quinn Johnson. We'll go ahead and pause the action as we resurface the ice, and we'll come back at the beginning of the second period. Welcome back, everybody, to the beginning of the second period. After resurfacing, quick score summary is Chanhassen Storm lead 3-0 on the Chaska Hawks. They dominated the offensive play in the first period with 17 shots on net. Max Minigan played a great job in that first period, steering 14 of those 17 shots aside. On the other end, the Hawks played good defensive hockey but couldn't quite keep the Storm off the scoreboard, giving up 3 goals. But they, in turn, our offense needs a spark. They had 3 shots on net, with Hagel turning all 3 aside. We look to have a little bit more pressure through the neutral zone and into the offensive zone by the Hawks this period. As both teams leave their respective benches and get ready for the second period. Hawks will send out Sorensen, Luke Sorensen to start the face-off. He's got Brink and Tobin on each side. He's got Isaac Anderson and Lucas Greer in defense. Palmquist, Kennedy, and Rice will take the ice for the Storm. Face-off win by Kennedy as he dumps it back in. The Storm dump it deep into the zone. Greer picks up the puck behind the net. Storm control the puck, can't quite control it. Brink there, tries to chip it free. Good save there by Johnson to keep the puck in the zone. Good pickup here by Kennedy as he moves the puck around. Turns, fires it into the corner. Picked up on the far side by Quinn Johnson, dumps it back behind the net. Kennedy cycles through, Brink picks up the puck. Nice breakout, can't quite connect on the pass to Tobin. Here's Rice, picks up the puck in the neutral zone. Sorensen almost creates a turnover there as a Storm. Saucer passes it back across. Returning to look at Brink, can't quite get it out. Tobin with a nice steal. Good offensive pressure there. Brink picks up the puck, controls it behind the net, tries to dump it out front, can't quite do so. Good defensive pressure there by Ty Johnson, and Isaac Anderson steps up, keeps the puck in the zone. On the far side, Marco Tobin puts the puck on net. Hagel steers it aside. This gives the Storm a nice breakout as they work the puck down. Here's Palmquist, fires the puck, can't quite get it off. Young there to tip it into the corner. Kennedy sitting on the puck, trying to stall. Good play there by Brink. Couldn't quite intercept it as it rained out to the slot. Back to the point. Shot at point blank. Young with a nice block. Brink again can't quite contain the puck. He's trying to get off the ice. He's had an extensive start to this period. Puck goes back into the corner. Kept in play by Rusloff here. Rusloff keeps it in. Back to Owen Sumstead. He wraps it around. Brink tries to clear it free, can't quite do so. Here's Edie, steps in, shot tipped wide by Owen Sumstead. Picked up by Tobin, they clear the zone. They were looking to get a deep clearance so that way they could get all fresh bodies, can't quite do so. Storm turned pressure on. Storm with a shot, turned, fired towards the net. Good stoppage, Connors with the shot, Minigan there with the save. Good play by Connors to pick up the puck, move towards the center slot, and get a nice shot there, but Minigan with a good glove save. With 12:52 to go in the second period, and the Storm with a 3-0 lead. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle. Anderson dumps it back to the point. Colt Spionewski fires it towards the net. Another play back out to the slot. Spionewski fires from the point, steers wide. Storm managed to keep the puck in the zone. Here's Edie. Can't quite keep it in. Storm have to retreat. As they dump it back down, Willis over to Hallman over to Will Sumstead. They manage to clear the zone, but the Storm maintain control as he cuts towards the middle. Will Sumstead steps up and puts a big hit on Noah Reed. Knocked Reed off his game there for a minute. The Storm managed to clear the puck down all the way to Hagel. Hagel wraps it around. Good play by Thormas. Guarded a little offensive pressure there. Reed picks up the puck in the corner. Back to the defender as they try to wrap it around. Here's Becker as Becker tries to clear. Storms guard again with good offensive pressure. Hawks wrap it around. Willis there to keep it in. As he takes it deep behind the net, tries to center. Good defensive pressure there by the Storm to keep it from coming out. Hallman steps up. Can't pinch to keep it in the zone. Brody Erickson back. Good play over to Willis. Willis dumps it up. Good play by Gieske to drop it in deep. Gieske follows it into the corner. Good play there by Conrad, turns around. Conrad reverses course. He's looking for some help. Good play over to Becker. Becker clears the zone. Isaac Anderson dumps it out. The Storm, or offsides, are going to have to go ahead and reset. Isaac Anderson back. Up to Brody Erickson, over to Gieske. Gieske tries to connect with Anderson, can't quite do so. The Storm work the puck across. Good play there, chipped over by Wacker. Wacker picks up the puck here. Dumps it back over to Anderson with a nice quick shot on net. Piggle there for the push aside. Storm managed to clear the zone. Good play by Isaac Anderson to step up, cause some turnover. Bauer Anderson picks up the puck. As he looks to bring it deeper into the zone, dumps it in. There's Conrad, picks up the puck behind the net, takes an elbow from Wacker. Rice picks up the puck, dumps it across. Isaac Anderson in pursuit for the Hawks. Wraps it around. Good play over to Greer. Greer reverses course. Nobody quite there. Minigan shot from the point. Minigan pushes aside. Quinn Johnson. Easy pass out front from Rice. That'll be a goal for number 22, Tyler Roberts, on the assist from Rice. The Storm really worked the puck around the corner there, creating a nice opportunity as Roberts was parked right in front. .10:09 remaining in the first period. Chanhassen takes a 4-0 lead. Sorensen steps into the face-off circle with Kennedy. Kennedy with face-off win. Dumps the puck over. Young steps up. Good play by the Storm as he mooks his way across the point. That's James Larson with a nice shot on net. Minigan there with a nice glove save.
Assist to Charles Rice. Roberts for Rice. Time to goal 10:09 in the second period.
Sorensen steps into the face-off circle with Kennedy. Face-off controlled by the Storm. Shot just wide. Kennedy tries to pick up a puck behind the net. Picked up by Tobin. Tobin takes a check. Owen Sumstead ties up. Rice along the backboards. Kennedy with the play out to Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson with a shot. Nice save there by Minigan. Tobin manages to clear the zone. Brink chips it free. Brink's got some space. He gets held. It's going to be a 2-minute interference penalty. A little bit too much contact there by Ty Johnson. We'll give the Hawks their very first. We'll give the Hawks their first power play opportunity at 9:28 remaining in the second period.
Chanhassen penalty to number 4, Ty Johnson. 2 minutes for interference. Johnson for interference.
This will be the first Hawks power play opportunity. Sorensen steps into the face-off circle. Face-off win by the Storm. The Hawks managed to maintain control, pinch it in. They try to dump it through the middle, can't quite do so. Picked up there and exited the zone by McCone. Good forecheck pressure there. Edie, with a great effort, creates a Chaska turnover. Storm managed to pick the puck up, dump it all the way down. Minigan back to pick up the puck behind the net. Anderson dumps it up, can't quite connect on Sorensen. They give a turnover. Storm turn it right back into the offensive zone. Brink over to Tobin. Tobin picks up the puck over to Sorensen. Sorensen brings it out of the zone again. A hit there. It looks like Sorensen took a hit to the knee. Right in front of the referee. Does not look like it was an illegal play. But Sorensen goes down. The referee stopped the play. With 8:38 remaining in the second period. The Hawks still have a 1-10 power play opportunity. Cooper Swanson steps into the face-off circle. He's got Will Sumstead and Jacob Thurmasgard. Face-off win by the Storm as they wrap it around. Owen Sumstead can't quite keep it in the zone. Brings it over to Lucas Greer. Greer back to Sumstead. Over to Will Sumstead. Will cuts across the middle. Swanson steps up in the middle. James Conner tries to put a hit on Cooper Swanson. Swanson stands him up, knocks him over. Hawks manage to maintain control. Will Sumstead in the corner over to Swanson with a nice give and go. Will Sumstead gets a shot on net. Hagel there with the save. Thormasgard picks up the puck on the far side, looking to thread the needle through the middle. Can't quite do so. Back to Will Sumstead as he looks to the point. Over to Lucas Greer. Greer back to Sumstead. They move the puck over to Owen Sumstead. Owen Sumstead with a shot towards the net. Nice save there by Hagel. With 7:48 to go in the second period, and 20 seconds remaining in the power play opportunity by the Hawks. Finally, some good offensive pressure here by the Hawks. Starting to test Hagel a little bit. Cooper Swanson will step into the face-off circle with Brady Kennedy. Face-off win. Kennedy manages to chip it free, but there's Palmquist, dumps it all the way down. Palmquist with great speed managed to wrap the puck around, maintain control, brings it out of the zone. This effectively will kill the remainder of the time off the power play opportunity by the Hawks. Storm maintain control. Edie up to Kennedy. Kennedy's got Edie racing down the middle as a screen. Nice shot by Kennedy there. Steered wide by Minigan. Storm managed to maintain control. Willison returned behind the net. Willis takes a hit by Palmquist. Kennedy behind the net. Gets dumped. I'm not sure what that call might be, but it looks like Cooper Swanson's going to take his second penalty of the game. With 7:09 remaining, we'll see what the referee signals. Looks like it's a roughing penalty on a questionable call.
Chaska penalty to number 24, Cooper Swanson, 2 minutes for roughing. Swanson for roughing.
This will give the Storm their third power play opportunity. They're currently 0 for 2 on the first 2 attempts. Face-off win by Kennedy, back to the point. Edie brings it over to Palmquist. Palmquist back to Edie. Edie steps into the slot with a shot, tip just wide. Palmquist works the puck along the far boards over to Edie. Edie steps up into the slot. Nice deflection there by Brody Erickson. Here's Kennedy. Moves the puck over to Charles Rice. Rice works his way around. Looking for some help. Gieske, nice good physical play there. Picked up by Rice. Rice over to Palmquist. Palmquist with a shot. Nice deflection in front by Hallman. Chaska can't quite clear the zone. Palmquist steps up. Another high shot, but there's Minigan there for a nice save with 1:19 remaining in the penalty kill. There's 6:27 remaining in the second period. Storm with a 4-0 lead. Current penalty is a 2-minute roughing penalty on Cooper Swanson. There's 1:19 remaining in the penalty. This is Casey Becker will step into the face-off circle with Will Sumstead. Puck's controlled by the Storm as they move the puck side. Puck's wrapped around the far boards. Storm managed to maintain control. Here's Brooks Conrad as he dumps behind the net. Back to Conrad. Trying to thread the needle. Can't quite do so. Good defensive pressure here by the Hawks as they work the puck around. Here's Quinn Johnson as he works the puck deep. Gives up the puck, and Isaac Anderson's there to clear it all the way down to... Picked up there behind the net by Hagel. Here's Ty Johnson as he tries to bring it up. He tries to work the play through. Here's James Connors as he tries to dump it deep. Connors continues to work along the boards. Quinn Johnson picks up the puck behind the net, fires it towards the center. Nice pass over to Ty Johnson, can't quite connect. Here's Quinn Johnson again with a shot. Nice save there by Minigan. Doesn't quite connect or stop the puck. Johnson tries to thread the needle through. It's tipped wide, giving the Hawks an opportunity. There's 15 seconds remaining in the penalty kill for the Hawks. Storm try to maintain control through the neutral zone. The step up. Conrad, shot, tips up high into the net, or high into the rafters, doesn't quite touch anything, so there's no stoppage in play. Great pass there by number 31 out to Casey Becker with the shot in the slot by Connors with 5:03 remaining in the second period. Connors will step up and be credited for the goal on a nice pass from Johnson. As we begin action again, Storm bring the puck in. Puck's dumped toward the front. Edie brings the puck across, tries to thread needle, can't quite do so. The Hawks work their way down. Owen Sumstead takes the puck into the corner.
26, James Connor assists. Casey from Casey Becker and Quinn Johnson. Connor from Becker and Johnson. Time of the goal, 5:03.
The Hawks try to get the puck into the zone. There's Wacker. Storm managed to clear the zone. Edie brings the puck in with a nice shot, high and wide. Misfires on that shot. Owen Sumstead drives it behind the net. Picked up there by Rice. Rice with a shot right off the post. Good post save by shot on Intikin's shot. Shots deflected in the corner. Young picks it up, dumps it all the way down. This should result in icing. It'll give the Hawks an opportunity to go ahead and get a fresh line change. With 3:52 remaining in the second period, the Storm with a 5-0 lead. Sorensen steps into the face-off. Controlled by the Storm. Shot towards the net, tipped twice. Doesn't quite make it to Minigan. Hawks try to dump it out, can't quite do so. Puck picked up here by Reed. Reed brings it back in with a shot from the point. Good defensive stick lift there to prevent Reed from getting the shot off. Willis with a play, knocks it back behind the board, and brings control over to Tobin. Tobin brings it over to Brink. Brink manages to clear the zone, tries to work his way around Conrad, can't quite do so, manages to dump it deep. Hawks are having a hard time establishing any time in the offensive zone. They try to dump the puck deep, but the Stormer managed to clear the zone very quickly. Good forecheck pressure here by Brink as he tries to dump it out. Nobody there, can't quite do so. Conrad or Reed picks up the puck. Brings it over to Carlson. Carlson brings it in. Looking for a shot in the slot. Can't quite do so. Here's a shot from the point by Conrad. Tipped high and wide. Willis is knocked off his feet in the puck battle. Reed picks up the puck behind the net. Tries to get the shot on net. Deflected wide. Tobin picks up the puck through the zone. Can't quite weave his way through. Here's Lindell. Picks it up. Chips it over. The Storm tried to get the shot off. That's McCone, tried to get the shot off, but Sorensen was there to put him on his back. The Hawks managed to clear the zone on a tip. Comes all the way down in pursuit. Drew Lindell picks up the puck behind the net. Good offensive pressure here by Thormasgaard. Isaac Anderson dumps it towards the net. Doesn't get it on net. Willis steps in, good pinch, keeps it in the zone. Puck comes all the way back to Conrad, picks it up behind the net. Storm clear the zone. This is a good play here by Palmquist. Steps aside from Isaac Anderson. Steps in. Good shot on Minigan. Minigan there with a big save. Storm managed to maintain control. Here's Kennedy over to Palmquist. Palmquist back out to Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson with a shot and a save by Max Minigan. He continues to take a lot of significant pressure. But the Hawks have regrouped a little bit defensively here in the second period, reducing the total number of shots compared to the first. At this point, the Storm have 31 shots on net. Gieske will step into the face-off against Brady Kennedy. Kennedy with the face-off win. Isaac Anderson tries to chip it free, can't quite do so. Picked up by Erickson. Good play over to Gieske. Gieske tries to bring the puck down through the center. takes a check, brings it right over to Bauer Anderson. Bauer Anderson gets dumped into the corner. Kennedy brings the puck up to Larson, picks it up, dumps it across. This is back to Palmquist. Palmquist looks, tries to connect through the middle. Kennedy with a nice backhand shot, shoots it wide. Puck brought up to the point. Ty Johnson keeps the puck in. Isaac Anderson chips it for the Hawks behind the net. Storm managed to maintain control in the offensive zone as they're working down behind the goal line, looking for that opportunity to pass out front. Hawks are having a hard time getting here. Shot back out to the point. Ty Johnson takes a shot. Minigan with another save. With 52 seconds remaining in the second period, Storm with a 5-0 lead. The story of the game has been all the offensive pressure by the Chanhassen Storm. Jack Schwartz steps into the face-off circle against James Connors. Connors with a face-off win, chipped out, but here's Highland picks up the puck, dumps it deep. That'll result in an icing penalty. Highland wasn't quite past the red line. That'll result in an icing play with 45 seconds remaining in the second period. Schwartz steps in, face-off win by Chan. A shot from the point by number 19, Beckett Eady. Max Minigan almost had it tipped just high and wide with 42 seconds remaining. That brings our total tally to 6-0 Chanhassen Storm. The Storm maintain control deep in the offensive zone as they look to set up behind the net.
Scoring for Chanhassen, number 19.
They work the puck around. Puck's back at the point. High shot, tipped just high above the net.
42 seconds.
Wacker manages to clear the zone. Hegel's there to pick up the puck behind the net. Highland dumps it up. Chipped up. Storm trying to bring it in. We've got two in the slot. Good play by Owen Sumstead. Physical play to knock Chan player off the puck. And that'll bring us to the end of the second period. Scoring recap for the second period was all Chanhassen Storm. At 10:09 in that second period, we had a goal by Roberts and the assist by Charles Rice. At 5:03 remaining in the period, we had a goal by James Connors with an assist from Quinn Johnson. And then, with 42 seconds remaining in the period, we had a goal by Beckett Eady that was unassisted. All were even strength goals. Penalty summary for the end of the second period. There were two Chaska penalties. We had one penalty on Johnson with 9:28 remaining for interference. Then for the Storm, we had Ty Johnson had an interference call at 9:28, giving the Hawks their one and only power play opportunity. Then we had Cooper Swanson picked up a 2-minute roughing penalty at 7:09. Shots on net in that second period were 13 by the Chanhassen Storm, giving them a grand total of 34 at this point. 17 for a total of 34 at this point. The Hawks had 4, giving them a grand total of 7 for the period. We'll take another intermission break. As they resurface, we'll be back for the third period. Welcome back, everybody, to the beginning of the third period as the teams take the ice. Look to loosen up a little bit as they start to back into the action. Storm with a 6-0 lead on 34 shots on net. Chaska's mustered up 7 shots. Defensively, Chaska's played fairly well. They've just struggled to make time for the neutral zone and then create any real offensive pressure. So far, the scoring's been balanced for the Chanhassen Storm with 3 goals in the first period, 3 goals in the second period. Penalty structure, we've had 3 Chaska penalties and we've had 1 Storm penalty. As the teams take their final coaching before they line up. We'll see a goaltender change here for the Hawks. We'll have Nolan Winnings in net, replacing Max Minigan. Minigan played well. Again, facing 34 shots and 28 saves. Sorensen will step into the face-off circle with Brady Kennedy. Kennedy with the face-off win. Storm maintain control as they look to advance to the neutral zone. Shot pushed up wide. Sumstead picks up the puck behind the net. Good outlet pass there by Tobin. Young picks it up, moves it in, dumps it deep into the zone. Story of the game is the Sound have been able to go ahead and take that deep pressure, turn it quickly into a breakout, as they do in this case. Play here. Shot here whiffed by Carter McCone, doesn't get the shot off. A good turn. Here's Brink as he rings it around, looking for some offensive help, can't quite do so. Shot manages to go through Hagel, but can't quite get to a Hawks player. Brink manages to hold the zone. The Storm work the puck down through, looking to get a shot on net. Can't quite do so. Direct shot, score. On the play by Holden Palmquist with a pass to McCone. McCone with the third period goal at 13:48. So again, McCone with the goal. And a nice pass there by Palmquist. Storm off the opening face-off, managed to take control. Storm again once again working around.
The assist from Holden Palmquist. McCone from Palmquist, time of the goal, 13:40.
Puck shot tipped up into the net. For many of you, if there's a score differential of +6, that results in running time. So as we begin this third period, there'll be running time against the Hawks, with the Chanhassen Storm with their 7-0 lead. As we pick up action, Bauer Anderson manages to clear the zone, takes a big hip check from Edie. Edie manages to move the puck over to Larson. Larson moves the puck over to Reed. Reed gets steered into the corner by Hallman. Hallman tries to send the puck, can't quite do so, it's bouncing. They do manage to keep the puck in the zone. Bauer Anderson tries to chip it through the middle, can't quite do so. Edie there steps up, tipped up high into the net. With 12 minutes remaining in that third period, the Storm with a 7-0 lead. Levi Gieske will step into the face-off circle with James Connors. Gieske chips it out, can't quite get it loose. Ty Johnson over to Quinn Johnson. Got the Johnson boys for the defenders for the Storm at this point. Ty Johnson picks it up in the neutral zone. Dumps it in. Jack Schwartz in the corner, deflects a nice hit. Ty Johnson picks up the puck on the far side, shot toward the net. Looks like there's going to be a penalty here on the Hawks. Looks like there'll be an interference call. As the puck was shot by Ty Johnson, one of the Storm players went down in front. Looks like it was Jack Schwartz will pick up the interference penalty with 11:20. This will give the Storm their fourth power play opportunity. So far, the Hawks have been successful in killing all of those penalties. Kennedy steps up. Good play by Brink, picks up the puck in the neutral zone, managed to clear it. Palmquist wraps his stick all the way around Brink. Doesn't manage to pick up the holding penalty. Storm try to clear the zone. Great pressure there by Brink and by Sorensen. Brink deep behind Hagel, wraps it around. Storm look a little discombobulated. Can't quite get the puck out of their own zone. Puck picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy brings it in, works his way to the side, looking for a shot, can't quite do so. As he brings it around. Dumps it back out to the point to Palmquist. Palmquist over to Kennedy. Kennedy picks up the puck. Looking to reverse course back to Edie, can't quite do so. Usloff. Kennedy, Edie with a shot, saved there by Nolan Winnings with 9:48 remaining in the third period. Again, this is the fourth power play opportunity by the Storm with 50 seconds remaining in the power play. The Hawks have been successful in killing all three of the previous penalties. Puck controlled. Ty Johnson blows a tire. Cooper Swanson picks it up, dumps it all the way down onto Hagel. Hagel steers it into the corner. Ty Johnson picks up the puck behind the net for the Storm. As he looks to advance it up, he's got Brooks Conrad, brings it through the middle. Dumps it over to Casey Becker. Becker tries to center the puck, can't quite do so. Back over to Conrad. Conrad shot, nice save there by Nolan Winnings. Puck goes into the corner as they bring it up. Shot there, tipped high and wide. Back out to Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson looks, dumps it deep, brings it back out to the point to Quinn Johnson. That'll be the end of the Chaska penalty. So we're back to 5-on-5 action with 7-0 score. The Storm maintain control in their offensive zone. Hawks need a line change. They're tired. Conrad tries to bring it out in front. Nolan Winnings there with a stoppage in play with 8:20 remaining. The story of the game has been all Storm, all offensive pressure. The Hawks have done a fine job trying to defend, but the shot differential at this point is a 5-1 shot differential with 37 shots on net by the Storm and 7 by the Hawks. Edie picks up the puck, dumps it deep into the corner. Young returns, fires it high, can't quite clear the zone. As he picks up the puck, you're looking in behind the net with good forecheck pressure. The Storm managed to maintain that continued pressure. There's a shot, unassisted goal by Charles Rice as he picks it up through the corner, steps his way to the top of the slot, fires the puck past Nolan Winnings for the 8th goal of the game. That was a nice play by Rice to step out of the corner, fire it onto net. Young steps up with pressure, moves his way in. Good back check pressure there by Rice.
Charles Rice, unassisted, time of the goal 7.
Puck battle behind the net, picked up by Edie. Edie drums it around to Ekkonen. Ekkonen manages to clear the zone. He's got Rice, picks it up. Rice with a shot, looking for the hat trick. Good save there by Nolan Winnings, blocker save. Edie manages to keep it in the zone. Here Rice picks it up from the short angle shot. Good save there by Winnings. Youngs dumps it back and around. Picked up from the point by McCone. Looks like there'll be a stoppage in play by Nolan Winnings with 6:26 remaining in the game. Rice has had substantial pressure on the Hawks all night, scoring 2 goals and having 1 assist. Sorensen steps into the face-off circle. Storm managed to maintain control as they pick up the puck in the slot. There's Reed. Tries to work it around, can't quite do so. Marco Tobin picks it up. He's got Brecken Brink along the far side. Brink in stride, picks it up. Good play as he tries to bring it strong to the net. Nobody there in front to help him out. Hawks managed to dump it back deep. Conrad there. Go ahead, reverse his course. Jack Schwartz there, fires it towards the net. Block, good shot by Brink as he's falling down. Good save by Hagel there. Storm managed to clear the zone fairly easy. Here's Reed, picks up speed, tries to work his way around Sorensen, can't quite do so. Dumps it out towards the front. Nolan Winnings with the save, picked up in the slot. Shot there, Winnings again with another save. Puck is managed to clear there by Lucas Greer. Storm reverse course in the neutral zone as they look to bring the puck in. They dump it deep. Picked up play by Kennedy, takes a check from behind from Schwartz. McCone tries to pick up the puck in the slot, can't quite do so. The shot there from the point by Larson, tipped wide by Winnings. Again, McCone tries to pick up this puck in the front. There's a breakaway opportunity for Brink if he hurries up. Kennedy with back check pressure, but Brink manages to put a pass on a nice backhand 5-hole goal with 4:31 remaining in the third period. Brink with a great individual effort to score Chaska's first goal. It was a nice play as he worked his way down. It was good back check pressure there by Rice. By Kennedy. Almost caught him. But Brink managed to prove to be the better player in that situation. Put the puck right through Hagel's legs.
Scoring for Chaska. Number 25, Brecken Brink.
It's been Chan all day so far.
Unassisted.
That helped bring the crowd a little bit to life here. Score 8-1. Good pressure there by Brody Erickson. Chips it deep in. Chan looking to work its way across. Struggling to get it out of the zone at this point. Good play. Here's McCone, tries to chip it up and wide of Willis. Swanson picks it up in the neutral zone. Ty Johnson can't quite maintain it. Palmquist tries to go. Bauer Anderson picks up the puck in the slot. Rips off a quick shot. Checked there by Quinn Johnson. Here's Ty Johnson, brings it down with some speed, looking to get the shot on net. Nolan Winnings there with a glove save with 3:08 remaining in the third period. Again, folks, we're in running time as there's a more than 6-goal differential. Levi Gieske will step into the face-off circle with James Connors. 2:45 remaining in the third period. Face-off controlled by the Storm. Shot from the point, Winnings there. Tips it in the corner. Sumstead wraps it around. Over to Wacker. Wacker tries to clear the zone. Manages to do so as the puck's dumped in. The Storm will have to clear the zone and reset. Young picks up the puck behind the net. Reverses course with Owen Sumstead. As they tip it around. Highland on the far side. Gieske tries to clear, can't quite do so. Puck control on the near boards by the Storm. Big check from behind by Sumstead as they try to wrap it around. Highland can't quite clear the zone. Puck stepped up by Spaniewski. Keeps it in. Back out to Edie. Edie can't quite clear. They'll keep it in. Highland managed to clear the zone. Wacker providing good pursuit. 1:46 remaining in the third period. The Storm managed to clear the zone. Edie brings up on the far side. Moves around Greer. Sorensen in pursuit. Sorensen pushes him wide. Good play there. Hawks try to clear the zone. Tobin picks it up. Nobody there to move across the neutral zone. Puck picked up here by Roberts. Tries to bring it into the zone. Ikonen dumps it behind the net. Schwartz picks it up. Chips it out front. Tobin steps in. Hawks having a hard time getting the puck out of the zone. Greer steps up, fires the brink. 1:03 remaining in the third period. Picked up behind the net for Edie. As Rice picks it up behind Edie. Back out, tries to clear the zone. Swanson can't quite keep it in. Here's Rice. Moves across. Offsides. Ikonen got in just a little bit too quickly. 40 seconds remaining in the third period. Storm with an 8-1 lead. Cooper Swanson will step into the face-off circle with Nicholas Carlson. As they pick it up, dumped it in. Storm managed to maintain control. Brody Erickson tries to clear it. Swanson steps in, gets a big check. Brody Erickson picks up the puck across the middle with speed, brings it into the zone. Nice back pass. There's Schwartz. Schwartz dumps it towards the net. Deflected wide. There's a stoppage in play. Looks like there's going to be a slashing penalty, and that'll be the end of the game. With the final score being the Chanhassen Storm 8, the Chaska Hawks 1 on 46 shots on net by the Storm, scoring on 38 saves for a combination from Max Minigan and Nolan Winnings. And on the Hawks side, Hagel stayed in, faced 9 shots, saved 8 for the total score of 8-1. Scoring in that third period, there were 3 by the Chanhassen Storm, 2 by Chanhassen, 1 by the Hawks. Number 39, McCone, scored at 13:48 remaining on the nice assist from Holden Palmquist. Then Charles Rice scored with 7:27 remaining, all even strength goals, with Breckenbrink on a nice breakaway goal with 4:31 remaining in the game to give the Hawks their first and only goal. Penalties in the third period, we had 1 on Jack Schwartz with 11:20 remaining for interference. Overall for the game, the Hawks went 0 for 1 on the power play, and the Chanhassen Storm went 0 for 4 on the power play opportunity. That'll wrap it up tonight, folks. Hope to see